Well, since my youth, I have lived through various stages of national struggle to achieve liberty and democracy. In the post-colonial era, we were hoping that we would be eligible for some democratic transformation and experience. We had a short experience with it for lasting 18 months or so before the constitution that we had written in 1973 was shelved and was suspended, frozen. And 1975, the whole democratic experience was brought to a standstill. And since then, we were witnessing how the national struggle continued in the 70s, 80s, 90s, until now. In dictatorial regimes, under dictatorial regimes, freedoms are curtailed. You do not own your freedom. You do not have freedom. You are simply supposed and expected to follow to toe the official line. So gathering is illegal of more than 5 people. Until now, officially it is illegal to gather for more than 5 people. If you want to protest, you have to have permission, which is usually denied. Freedom of association is not there, does not exist. You cannot be a member of a political party. So there are no political parties in the Gulf within the GCC system of government. Torture and abuse is widespread. There are no guarantees or safeguards against it. There is an ongoing culture of impunity, which ensures that those who commit the crime of torture can get away with it, and nobody asks them anything. So this is how the situation in today's Bahrain or Saudi Arabia is, and this is why the political strife continues in order to affect transformation into a better system.
Bahrain is still the same, dictated by a dictator and a family, and it is run by a family. It's like a family business. It's nothing related to the people who they wish and their wish to change and to decide and to have self-determination. In 2010, they arrested me while I'm coming from abroad at the airport. They took me to Al Qal'a prison, which is on the basement, and in a prison 2 by 1, and it is like a safe, the safe, the bank safe. It is similar to it, just one light, and the door is like this thick. It is a safe, and there is no light, there is no natural light, or you can't see nothing, just the torturers and the interrogator, who we've been blindfolded all the time. 40 days we've been blindfolded. The torture was severely, and many kind of things. They use electric shock on us. They use what they call it, harassment, the sexual harassment, the beating, many things. Just they want to suck, and they just want to get anything from us.
I only recently, very recently, in the past 2 or 3 months only, did I realize that this FinFisher had been implanted in my computer. I had symptoms, but probably due to my ignorance, technological ignorance, I did not relate it to espionage and monitoring. I had symptoms. I saw things in my computer happening that I had always attributed to viruses. I thought, oh, this is a virus. why is my tweet account increasing in the number of the people I am following. Usually I have 30 people, I follow 30 people. And in fact, it's my children who chose 30 people and put them, because I don't know, I'm not very advanced in my understanding of technology. But then suddenly they would go to, within a week, they would go from 30, the people I am following, to 47, 45. And once I brought two of my friends and said, look, because they called me, I said, can you come now? So they came. I said, look, let us go through my tweets, my Twitter account, and what I tweeted in the past week or so. So we went there. But the tweets they receive are different from the tweet I do, what they have. I assume that this is a virus again.
They put pornography pictures as that we are putting it, and we are not. We know that. And also they just want to try to insult us by putting these pictures, because they knew that we are working with the people and for the people. And when our reputation is bad, everybody will go away from us. They don't want people to follow us or to listen to us. They think that we have a good influence to our people inside Bahrain.
Last year I heard people in Bahrain Watch, they were saying that some opposition computers have been compromised and violated. I was told by Privacy International that I have been really seriously violated by FinFisher.
We're in an era of securitization. You see kind of the Snowden leaks, post 2011, post 2001, even post 9/11. This kind of heightened idea of security feels like it's legitimized this kind of industry of spying on people. So I think there's a few factors compounding together that makes maybe even governments more permissive in their response to state surveillance. And again, it allows governments like the Bahraini government or governments engaging in human rights violations just to say, listen, we're just doing this against terrorism, which is again the same rhetoric you see used by David Cameron, by Tony Blair, by Bush, even by Obama, and like it's such a nebulous term, anti-terror. We're doing this in the name against terror, and terror is very subjective because you say, yeah, these people who are against the state are by definition terrorists.
How they define terrorism and how these people define terrorism are totally different things. They speak the same word, but they mean different things. And that is very important. What do people should be asked? What do you mean by terrorism? We had meetings with Gumbo 7 leaders, that is the Skype conversations, and they talked or they recorded that conversation and doctored in a certain way and twisted, and they posted on the internet, and it looks like as if we are talking about something totally different, something about the Egyptian. There is a kind of friction between Ethiopia and Egypt on the river Nile, and Ethiopia is trying to build a dam on Nile, and they want to use that, and as if we are conspiring with Egypt and then receiving money from Egyptian government. That type of thing that doesn't come to your mind at all. And once they get access to some sort of conversations, they can copy paste it, and they can modify it in a way that will suit to their purposes. And in fact, at the beginning it was very damaging. But as time passed, people understand that there are this type of technologies that they are using. In fact, it has backfired on them. I think now, if they posted any information, probably very few people will believe them. I started to live in a way I used to live in Ethiopia. In Ethiopia, so I knew that my telephones have been tapped and my conversation is tapped. Therefore, I very, very limited conversation, and then every time that it's suspicious and cautious, return back to that state. You know, I feel like I'm in Addis Ababa still. You know, the companies that are producing this type of software and selling to authoritarian regime to spy on their people, and not only their people simply, but on people who strive to democratize the country, people who try to at least protect basic human rights in that country, people with bright future, and when they are targeted by using their product, I don't know what they will feel. And how can they justify the money they get from that? In business, it is very important to have certain level of ethics. And if we are running unethical business, and if we are cooperating with authoritarian regime somewhere else just to get some revenue, some profit out of that, it is equivalent to sell armament, or it is even worse than that. That it is simply the common word is a kind of blood money. And what do they feel? And how can we justify these companies? And how can they justify their own activities? And also they have to see a step ahead. You know, whether it might take some time, but for sure Africa will rise. For sure Ethiopia will be democratized. I have no doubt about that. I'm very certain that we will have a responsible government sooner or later. And what will be their reaction? What will they tell us at that time, what they have done that today?